Penguin Random House Audio presents What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School. Notes from a Street Smart Executive by Mark H. McCormack. Read for you by John Chancer.
Foreword. When William Morris Endeavor acquired IMG, we knew that Mark McCormack had established IMG's corporate DNA, but we didn't know what that would look like in the present day. Of course, we knew the McCormack legend. We had long admired him as an entrepreneur and visionary who built an empire while creating the business of modern sports marketing. His first clients were Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Arnold Palmer, players he helped transform from athletes to household names. Yet after spending time with our partners at IMG, what we are now most impressed with is Mark's legacy as a leader. Mark hasn't been at IMG since his death in 2003, but we see his influence every day. Inside of IMG, he built a culture of unparalleled strategic reach, one that now affects the marketing, promotion, and broadcasting of sports, fashion, and live events around the world. As we have learned from our own experience, fostering a strong corporate culture is the most challenging, yet most important aspect of building a company that endures. IMG is full of devoted employees who eagerly explain why they owe their lives and careers to Mark, someone they considered a masterly executive and compassionate boss. It is a great privilege and responsibility to carry his legacy on. Mark took his ability to inspire others to the next level by writing this book. He could have easily chosen to write a memoir reflecting upon his many accomplishments and experiences with the world's biggest athletes, celebrities, and dignitaries. Instead, he chose to write something applicable to anyone looking to start a business, and all who want to break the mold wherever their passions lie. The book you are about to listen to is Mark's undistilled wisdom. Sometimes it's highly specific. The fascinating reasons he emphasized golf and tennis over team sports, for instance. But mostly, this is a handbook for brilliant execution. How to make hard decisions, how to dominate your competition, how to develop strategy, and how to execute on entrepreneurial vision. And of course, there are some incredible fly-on-the-wall stories that bring all of his teachings to life. Whether it's the branding opportunities that presented themselves during the Martina Navratilova-Chris Evert tennis rivalry, or the 1984 LA Olympics marketing bonanza, these case studies could be told only by a man who saw it all and always challenged the status quo. Make no mistake, Mark McCormack would have won in any era. Enjoy. Ariel Emanuel, Patrick Whitesell, co-CEOs, WME, IMG, 2015. Preface. What They Can't Teach You at Harvard Business School. When I was at Yale Law School, I was told that as a business education, a law degree was every bit as valuable as an MBA, Master of Business Administration. Years later, having lectured at Harvard and a number of other business schools, I became convinced that it was, though both have definite limitations when applied to the real world. As an introduction to business, an MBA or an LLB is a worthwhile endeavor. But as an education, as part of an ongoing learning process, it is at best a foundation, and at worst a naive form of arrogance. The best lesson anyone can learn from business school is an awareness of what it can't teach you, all the ins and outs of everyday business life. Those ins and outs are largely a self-learning process, though the experience of someone like myself might make the learning shorter, easier, and a lot less painful. In the early 1960s, I founded a company with less than $500 in capital, and thereby gave birth to an industry, the sports management and sports marketing industry. Today, that company has grown into the International Management Group, IMG, with offices around the world and several $100 million in annual revenues. I am probably better known as the guy who made Arnold Palmer all those millions than I am by my own name. In truth, Arnold Palmer made Arnold Palmer all those millions, though I think Arnold would agree that I helped. While the management of celebrity sports figures will always be very important to us, with Jean-Claude Keely, Jackie Stewart, Bjorn Borg, Herschel Walker, Martina Navratilova, Chris Everett, and dozens of others among our list of more than 500 clients, it is only one aspect of what I do personally, and what we do as an organization. Our television division produces hundreds of hours of original network programming throughout the world, and sells thousands more hours for such clients as Wimbledon, the National Football League, the U.S. Tennis and Golf Associations, the World Ski Federation, the National Collegiate Athletes Association, and the Royal and Ancient Golf Club. Our marketing consulting division is retained all over the world by more than 50 blue-chip corporations. We do the personal financial planning and management for several hundred high-level corporate executives. We own 3 fashion agencies, and we represent, or have represented, entities as diverse as the Nobel Foundation, the Vatican, and the English Catholic Church. And we are television consultants for the organizing committees for the 1988 Calgary Winter Olympics and the 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul, Korea. In more than 20 years, I suspect I have encountered every type of business situation and every type of business personality imaginable. I've had to cipher the complex egos of superstar athletes, and of their spouses, parents, lovers, neighbors, and camp followers. I have dealt with heads of state and heads of corporations, with international bankers and small-town advisors, with bureaucratic governing sports bodies and autocratic empire builders. I have come in contact with every phase and facet of the entertainment, communication, and leisure time industries. And at one time or another I have done business with practically every nationality on the face of the earth. What I haven't experienced myself, I have observed. Because of our affiliations with major companies throughout the world, I have been in countless executive suites and boardrooms where I have witnessed a lot of companies in action, and have realized why a lot of them are incapable in action. I have seen every conceivable corporate style, culture, theory, and philosophy put to work, and noted why a lot of them never do. From my experiences and observations, I have drawn the advice in this book covering selling, negotiating, starting, building, and running a business, managing people and personalities, getting ahead, and getting things done. But in a way, this categoric breakdown is misleading, because what this book is really about is street smarts, the ability to make active, positive use of your instincts, insights, and perceptions, to use them to get where you want to go, preferably by the shortest route, even if this means jumping some fences or going through a few back alleys. Can you really learn to apply gut reactions to business? Perhaps not totally, but what you can learn are the results of street-smart thinking. Much of what I say and do in business, from a self-effacing comment to an intentionally provocative one, is designed to give myself a slight psychological edge over others, or to help me get the most out of others. That is what street smarts really is. An applied people sense. Whether it is a matter of closing a deal or asking for a raise, of motivating a sales force of 5,000 or negotiating one-to-one, of buying a new company or turning around an old one. Business situations almost...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?